Good evening. Henry here. Actually, my friends call me Harry. Harry and Rollo here for you, and like to welcome you here this evening to an exciting time. Welcome to Winterfest, sponsored by Discover Doylestown. We have an exciting and interesting season this year. Because of COVID, we're going to be doing a few things a little differently. But look out for every Tuesday and Thursday evening, as we're going to have special guests read stories to you online. And on Wednesdays, we're going to have the good old jolly Saint Nick. Well, get those letters written up, because he's going to read your letters online from you for everybody else to hear. So please, join us with this exciting time of year. Coming out, discovering Doylestown, having a wonderful time. And remember, if you go shopping, keep an eye out for our jolly friend Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman. But when you're out and you're shopping, don't forget to wear your mask.
She has 3 presents. He grabbed the nutcracker from Marie and tossed him in the air.
All of the other reindeer. Olive was too shy to sing.
I wonder what will happen. The elves arrived to help.
You never go
everyone
out,
make
and this is such a fine opportunity. I had great trouble to get it. Everyone wants to go. It is very
Santa
select.
circled once above us and then disappeared into the cold, dark, polar
On
sky.
Christmas Eve, we get out the ornaments. Some were Grandpa's when he was a little boy.
This is not a house. Well, I know. It's a castle. Fontaine Castle.
on. Here arose such a clatter. I sprung from the bed to see what was the matter.
Hello, good evening. I'm going to share a very special book with you that has been a favorite of mine for a very long time. And it's a book about a Scandinavian story about a wood elf that is called the Tomten. In Scandinavia, as in many areas that we live in, the barns are very important structures to families, children, and the animals. And this centers around the family barn. The book is adapted by Astrid Lindgren from a poem by Victor Rydberg. It is the dead of night. The old farm lies fast asleep, and everyone inside the house is sleeping too. The farm is deep in the middle of the forest. Once upon a time, someone came here, cut down the trees, built a homestead, and farmed the land. No one knows who. The stars are shining in the sky tonight. The snow lies white all around, but the frost is cruel. On such a night, people creep into their small homes, wrap themselves up, and bank the fire of the hearth. Here is a lonely old farm where everyone is sleeping, all but one. The Tomten is awake. He lives in a corner of the hayloft and comes out at night when human beings are asleep. He is an old Tomten who has seen the snow of many hundreds of winters. No one knows when he came to the farm. No one has ever seen him, but they know he is there. Sometimes when they wake up, they see prints of his feet in the snow, but no one has seen the Tomten. On small, silent feet, the Tomten moves about in the moonlight. He peeps into cowshed and stable, storehouse and toolshed. He goes between the buildings, making tracks in the snow. The Tomten goes first into the cowshed. The cows are dreaming that summer is here, and they are grazing in the fields. The Tomten talks to them in Tomten language. a silent little language that cows can understand. Winters come and winters go. Summers come and summers go. Soon you can graze in the fields. The moon is shining into the stable. There stands Dobin, the old horse, thinking. Perhaps he remembers a clover field where he trotted around last summer. The Tomten talks to him in Tomten language, a silent little language a horse can understand. Winters come and winters go. Summers come and summers go. Soon you will be in your clover field. Now all the sheep and lambs are sleeping soundly, but they bleat softly when their friend the Tomten peeks in at the door. He talks to them in Tomten language, a silent little language the sheep can understand. All my sheep, all my lambs, the night is cold, but your wool is warm and you have aspen leaves to eat. Then on small silent feet the Tomten goes to the chicken house, and the chickens cluck contentedly when he comes. He talks to them in Tomten language, a silent little language chickens can understand. Lay me an egg, my jolly chickens, and I will give you corn to eat. The dog kennel roof is white with snow, and inside is Caro. Every night he waits for the moment when the Tomten will come. The Tomten is his friend, and he talks to Caro in Tomten language, a silent little language a dog can understand. Caro, my friend, is it cold tonight? Are you cold in your kennel? I'll fetch more straw, and then you can sleep. The house where the people live is silent. They are sleeping through the winter night without knowing that the Tomten is there. Winters come and winters go. I have seen people large and small, but never have they seen me, thinks the Tomten. He tiptoes across to the children's cot and stands looking for a long time. If they would only wake up, and then I could talk to them in Tomten language, a silent little language children can understand, but children sleep all night. And away goes the Tomten on his little feet. In the morning, the children see his tracks, a line of tiny footprints in the snow. Then the Tomten goes back to his cozy little corner in the hayloft. There in the hay, the cat is waiting for him, for she wants milk. The Tomten talks to the cat in Tomten language, a silent little language a cat can understand. Of course you may stay with me, and of course I will give you milk, says the Tomten. Winter is long and dark and cold, and sometimes the Tomten dreams of summer. Winters come and winters go. Summers come and summers go. Soon the swallows will be here, thinks the Tomten. But the snow still lies deep around the old farm in the forest. The stars shine in the sky, and it is biting cold. On such a night, people creep into their small houses and bank the fire on the hearth. Here is a lonely old farm where everybody is asleep, all but one. Winters come, winters go. Summers come, year follows year, but as long as people live at the old farm in the forest, every night the Tomten will trip around between the houses on his small, silent feet.
Let me read this wonderful letter, and this letter came from Luca and Leo. This one, I remember. This is from Emily, and she's 8 years old. This year, I've been really nice. Well, you've been on the nice list for a long time, Emily. And this looks like it came from Victoria, and Victoria's only 4 years old. My goodness, aren't these drawings so nice? Look how nice that is. I would like a piano and a microphone. Wow. Merry Christmas to you. I hope that you'll come visit with me next Wednesday night when we're broadcasting again from Discover Doylestown. And don't forget to keep putting those letters in the mailboxes. And the mailboxes are the Class Harlan Realty office at the Doylestown bookstore in the children's section. And you can drop them off here at the Discover Doylestown office right here at Pine and State Street. So have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to coming to visit with you in your home, seeing that beautiful Christmas tree, putting some goodies in your stocking and making your Christmas merry and as bright as Santa can make it.
This story is entitled Olive, the Other Reindeer. It's written by Vivian Walsh and J. Otto Seibold. Every day, Olive took her daily dog walk, winter, spring, summer, or fall. Today was a winter's day. It was the holidays. There was music playing outdoors. People were singing along. All of the other reindeer. Olive was too shy to sing. She hummed. Back at her doghouse, Olive was wrapping presents and listening to the radio. She heard that same song again. All of the other reindeer, went the song. All of the other reindeer, Olive sang along. Huh, Olive, the reindeer, said Olive. I thought I was a dog. I must be a reindeer. It was the time of year when all reindeer reported to the North Pole to help Santa Claus. Olive put down her scissors carefully and marched out the door. She took one bus and then 2 buses. She got there just in time. Santa was checking his list for the second time. Elves were busy helping the reindeer and loading the sleigh with presents for all of the good girls and boys. Everyone was getting ready to go. Olive took her place. Santa noticed that there was a little dog in the lineup. Santa knew a lot about dogs. For instance, they can't fly. But as it was time to go, he decided to give Olive a chance. Comet, the biggest reindeer, used a piece of extra ribbon to make sure Olive was tied in safe and tight. Now, they were ready to go. Olive was surprised. It was so easy to fly. The other reindeer were very curious about the new helper. They looked at Olive so much, they weren't watching where they were going. Crash! They flew smack into the top of a too-tall tree. Oh dear, said Santa, my sleigh is stuck in this tree. I'll have to cut it free. Olive clung to the side of the tree. She tried to fly up to help Santa, but she could not. She climbed up slowly and started chewing. Chewing sticks was something Olive could do well. Thank you, Olive, said Santa Claus as they got back on their way. They had not traveled far when Olive's nose began to twitch. Olive smelled trouble. It was the smell of gumdrop candies as they fell from the sleigh. Drop, drop, drop. Olive barked, and Santa knew what to do. He steered the reindeer down and around so that all of the gumdrops fell plop, 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 back into the toy sack. We were very lucky to not lose a single gumdrop, thought Olive. Then she heard a strange sound. It was the musical note. Eee! She spun around, on her string to see the night sky filled with falling flutes. Olive had to howl louder than the wind instruments. This was not music to Santa's ears. First gumdrops, and now flutes, thought Santa. That tree must have torn a hole in my sled. Prepare for an emergency landing, Santa instructed. The sleigh landed in a snowy field full of flutes. Luckily, Olive was very good at fetching sticks. It was something dogs love to do. Before Santa had finished patching the hole in the sleigh, Olive had returned each and every flute back to the sack. "Ho, ho, ho," said Santa. "We're ready to go." They were running late, but after a while, all the good children received their presents, and Santa and his team headed home. They were almost home when they got caught in the dreaded North Pole fog. The reindeer slowed down until it was only the breeze that moved them along. The fog was as thick as a pillow. It made everyone feel sleepy. Then Santa remembered something about dogs. They are expert smellers. "Olive, I'd hate to be late for breakfast this year," he said. "Mrs. Claus has planned a parade of cookies. You can almost smell them, can't you?" Olive could smell the cookies. "Olive, won't you guide my sleigh this morning?" asked Santa. Olive moved to the front of the reindeer. Thanks to Olive's nose and Mrs. Claus' baking, they made it all the way back to the North Pole. All of the elves sang out a cheer. "Hooray! Hooray! Santa and the reindeer and the little doggy are back!" Back at the North Pole, it was a glorious morning. After eating lots of good food, it was time to open presents. The reindeer got jump ropes, and the elves got toy trains. Santa reached into his toy sack. There was just one present left. It was her very own set of reindeer antlers. They fit perfectly. Then everyone went outside to play reindeer games. And that's the end of this story about Olive, the other reindeer.
Drop off your letters to Santa at Discover Doylestown's office, Klaus Harlan Real Estate, or at the Doylestown Bookshop. Santa is going to read your letters live from the North Pole each Wednesday on Discover Doylestown's Facebook.
Hi, I will be reading to you Melrose and Croc, A Christmas to Remember. One day before Christmas, a small green crocodile walked down a busy street carrying a suitcase. Not far away, a yellow dog named Melrose was opening his front door. Little Green Croc had come to the city to see Santa Claus at the big department store. He was so excited. He looked at the piece of paper again. It said, "Come and meet Santa Claus at Saxondale's. Make your dreams come true." Tomorrow, thought Croc, will be wonderful. Melrose had just arrived in town. He was decorating his new apartment. "I wish I had somebody to do this with," he said to himself. "I wish someone else could see this." He looked at the box of Christmas decorations. "I may as well put these away again," he thought. "There's no point in having a tree just for me." That night, as Melrose gazed at the view, he sighed. It's Christmas. I should be happy, but I feel sad. Little Green Croc looked out at the great dark sea. He was too excited even to sleep. In the morning, Croc arrived at Saxon Dales. Can you tell me the way to Santa Claus? He asked. Oh, I'm afraid you've missed him, said the manager. He was here last week. He's out now. It is Christmas Eve. Croc felt like crying, but he didn't want people to see. I'm hopeless, thought Croc. I've got everything wrong, and now I'm soaked. Little Green Croc burst into tears. It didn't matter anymore. Melrose hadn't seen Croc or the puddle. He was still finding his way around town. I wish I could find a way to cheer up, he thought. And I wish I could find a friend, he sighed. A lady was giving away surprise presents. For you to share, she smiled. Thank you, Melrose said sadly. Croc found a place to get out of the snow. How foolish I was to come, he thought. A tear dropped onto his suitcase. Then suddenly he heard music, lovely music. It rang through the air and he followed it. Little Green Croc forgot everything. He whirled and twirled, he glided and slid. Melrose was there whirling too. He flew faster than light. He felt lighter than air. If only I could skate forever, thought Melrose. If only I could skate forever, thought Croc. They swooped and looped, they zigged, they zagged, left and right, faster and faster until... Crash! Ow! Cried Melrose. Ow! Cried Croc. I'm so sorry, gasped Croc. No, I'm sorry, said Melrose. Come on, let's go have some tea. They sat and told each other everything. And now Christmas is ruined, Croc finished. Then Melrose had a brilliant idea. Come and spend Christmas with me, he cried. We'll get a tree, and Santa Claus will come. Croc wiped the last tear off his nose. I'd love to do that, he said. While Melrose cooked dinner, Little Green Croc decorated the tree. Look, cried Melrose, I told you he'd come. There he is. The next day was Christmas. All my dreams are coming true, said Croc. Mine too, said Melrose. All I wanted was a friend, and I found you. And I found you. Merry Christmas, Croc smiled. The end.